Hi, I'm Ryan Pané, and I'll be interviewing the cast of Bonnie and Clyde. Get ready, because things will be popping. Welcome back to Fireside Chats. Today I have with me Steph Jones. Welcome, Steph.
Thank you for having me, Ryan.
Steph is part of the cast of Bonnie and Clyde and plays Blanche, correct?
Yes, I played Blanche Barrow, and she is Buck's wife, and Buck is Clyde's brother. So I'm Clyde's sister-in-law.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're related to the crime family.
Yes, but I'm totally against it in every possible way.
Then how did you end up marrying them?
I don't know. That's pre-show. They're already married, and when Clyde and Buck break out of jail, there's actually a whole song called "You're Going Back to Jail," and she's like, "Buck, you have to go back to jail and finish your sentence because it's the right thing to do, and then you'll be free in the eyes of the Lord." And she's a very religious person.
She's very religious.
Very, very religious person.
Does she put him back in jail?
She does. She actually convinces him to go back to jail, and then he serves his sentence. He actually ends up getting out early because he turned himself back in. So like good things happen because you listen to Blanche.
So is Blanche would you say she's the moral compass of the show?
She kind of is in a weird way because Bonnie and Clyde, like technically like they're bad guys, they're killing people and robbing banks and stuff.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah, it's whatever. But you kind of root for them anyway. So in a weird way, Blanche is like the actual moral compass of no, you should not rob and steal things from people, but she's also kind of like, just let them do their thing. It's Bonnie and Clyde. It's okay. It's kind of weird.
Can you explain that a little bit more? I'm kind of confused. So what do you mean, like, let them do their thing?
Basically, like...
Because if she's is she a religious zealot? Is she, like, Bible, preaching, thumping, praise the Lord?
Yep. That is Blanche, yes.
That's Blanche.
She's very, the good Lord will help us get through all this and blah, 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 like all that kind of stuff. And so... as much as even if you're not a particularly religious person, she is right in the sense of you shouldn't kill people.
Shouldn't steal things, she shouldn't break out of jails,
Yeah, but Bonnie and Clyde, as you're watching the show, they love each other so much and they're having so much fun that you want to root for them anyway, so it's kind of a weird...
Does she root for them? Like, the character?
The character does not
She's against them. That's what I'm understanding. She's still very...
Blanche is like, no, this is a bad idea. Clyde, go back to jail. She doesn't really care about Bonnie as much. She doesn't like Bonnie.
She doesn't like Bonnie?
Does not like Bonnie.
No.
Nope.
She don't want her as a sister-in-law.
No.
You're not good enough to be in my crime family.
She's not even, it's not even that, she calls her a tart. She's just not a fan. Like, before she even meets her, some tart. Like, this is
might as well call her a
aggressive.
strumpet.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Like, really aggressive, right? Like, she's probably feeling so attacked right now.
I came out to have a fun time, and I'm honestly feeling so attacked right now.
It's true.
Was it hard for you to get into this character?
Yes and no. The religious part was a little hard to get into. I'm not a hugely religious person. You
don't visit the chapel here at Marist?
No, not really, no. Really nice chapel, but I don't go there much. But in terms of, she's a very strong-willed woman, and she wears the pants. She's bossing Buck around all the time, so that was not that hard.
That was easy to get into.
That was kind of easy to get into. I'm usually pretty opinionated and strong-willed, so yeah.
All right, well that's good.
Yeah,
this is your second show?
Third.
Third show.
Third show.
Well, I wish you good luck, and I can't wait to see you on opening night.
Thank you.
Welcome back to a special edition of Fireside Chats. Unfortunately, the fireplace couldn't be with us today, but we'll just have to settle for our windowsill chats. Today I have with me Zach Russo. Zach is in the cast of Bonnie and Clyde and is playing Jack Barrow?
Buck Barrow.
Buck Barrow. Can you tell me a little bit about Buck?
Sure. Well, he's Marvin Ivan Buck Barrow. They call him Buck. He is Clyde's older brother. I don't know why I just said brother. He's around 26 or 27 years old when the show starts out. And I kind of like to think of him as like a tamed wild man. He's very similar to Clyde in that they want to go out and they want to rob these places and they want to try to have a better life. But at the same time, I have kind of a rock in my wife, Blanche, who's very, very much kind of against that.
Yeah, Blanche she's much more of a religious character and a very do-goody type.
Yeah,
so,
she's do-goody all the way.
What I'm curious about is how did you and Blanche end up coming together? I know this was pre-show.
Yes, this was before the show started out.
What do you think happened?
I think, like you were saying, she definitely had that really kind of solid Christian upbringing. but for whatever reason she found that some of the men that she was involved with just weren't, I guess, really able to relate to her on some way. And I don't know why exactly Buck was, because he's the complete opposite of what you think she'd be going for. But I think there was just something about his personality and about kind of his kind of wild nature that kind of drew each other together.
She likes a bad boy.
I guess so.
Someone who doesn't play by the rules, makes his own as he goes along.
Yeah, I guess
she needs that little excitement in her life.
Yes.
And you bring that to the table.
Oh, I do my best.
You do your best.
Yeah. Although she does like a nice solid mix. I think she likes the excitement factor of it, but at the same time she wants to kind of reel me in a little bit and keep me away from Clyde. And especially as the play goes on, it's kind of a huge ping pong match, really, between her and Clyde, and that we break out of prison very beginning of the show, and I go back to Blanche, and it's like, hey, let's get out of here, let's go to New Mexico, and we can start over again. But then she says, no, go back to jail. You can start a new life with me when we come out. And then Clyde's like, oh, don't go back, so I don't know who to listen to for a lot of the play. And then eventually, by the time we get to Act 2, I think Clyde has won that match that we were talking about.
Can you elaborate a little bit on your relationship with Clyde?
Sure. Well, like I said, me and Clyde are brothers, but I think almost before being brothers, I think first and foremost, the two of them are best friends. Like, they're close enough in age that they were always doing things together when they were younger. And I looked up some stuff about the real Buck and the real Clyde, and I mean, when they were like young teenagers or so, I mean, they'd get their start like robbing people, like just stealing chickens from people's farms or whatever, like before they started like getting into the real kind of scary stuff, like the bank robberies and stuff like that. I mean, they came from a very humble place. We were living in a tent, really, when we were younger. We didn't have much at all. And so I think that kind of brought us very close together as well.
How difficult was it for you to get into this character?
In some ways, he was a pretty easy guy to relate to because he very much was kind of the softer heart between Clyde and Buck. So for me, that was kind of easier for me to relate to. But at the same time, I think despite the fact that he's older than Clyde, in a lot of ways he looks up to his younger brother. And I see myself as kind of a little bit more of a leader, so I'd want to kind of have an even thing going on with Clyde if I was Buck, but I think as my character, it's just kind of him looking to Clyde like, all right, we're going to rob a bank, all right, let's do it. It's going to get me out of this terrible place that I'm living in. It's going to make a better life for me and Blanche, let's do it. And so in that regard, I think I really am looking for some kind of leadership. And I find it in my brother.
All right, that sounds really great. Yeah. Well, I'm really excited to see you in Bonnie and Clyde, which goes up this week. Cool. And have a great opening night.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ryan.